amazing, isn't it, really, what you can do when you got a little tape?
Swamp Donkey Radio, Swamp Donkey Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, kings and queens, MCs and DJs. Welcome to the third Creator Spotlight from Swamp Donkey Radio. My name is Jan-Hen.
And this is Nadi.
And this week, this one's been quite a while coming. Whenever I didn't even remember when I started thinking about Creator Spotlight, but this was like one of the first guests I wanted on here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
the build-up is happening.
For you, I didn't even know about it. You were just like, okay, we have one for this weekend. I'm like,
yeah.
Cool?
Yeah, it happened quite suddenly, but it was quite cool.
It was very cool.
We actually had quite a eventful weekend, and we're actually going to, I'm not going to spoil anything now, but there might be more content coming in the next few weeks.
Wow.
But anyway, enough of us rambling. Let's get on to our guest. Dear listeners, today we have the honor of chatting with someone with way more experience in actual radio than we do. Someone who has been a very prominent and influential person in the South African music scene. And he's not even in a band. A master of ceremonies, or MC by profession. This week's guest is also known for being an excellent DJ, a charming quizmaster, inspiring voiceover artist, and savvy businessman. I mean, I could go on and on about his accomplishments, but we'd be here for quite a while. Dear listeners, the man whose voice sounds like Bryflace tastes like, please welcome Baas the Beer.
Hi, and welcome to you.
Well, thank you so very much. I feel honored to be here. I'm not exactly sure where we are, but I'm here.
Yeah. And
YouTube, most likely.
Yeah, probably. if someone's listening to this, then YouTube. So yeah, Chris, Christu, Baas, Mr. De Beer.
Mr. De Beer.
Pick
All those
one.
other ones.
I react to hey, yay, work.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Well, basically, Christu, but everyone knows me as Baas the Beer. Find me on Twittergram and Facebook and everywhere. Baas the Beer, it's easy. And just by virtue of disclaimer, Baas the Beer was not my choice for a name. It was completely by accident.
How did it happen?
Basically, ages ago I ran a micro printing company and stuff, and so I basically was behind my computer 16 hours a day, and when I reformatted it, seeing as, didn't have a boss, I figured my computer's my boss.
No.
And so I called my computer Baas the Beer, and that was roughly the time that Gmail came out. Yes, I'm that old.
Yeah.
So when Gmail came out, I wanted me to have a Gmail address. I'm like, Baas the Beer. This will be just another one of the email addresses that won't last, whatever.
Yeah.
It lasted.
Yeah,
So when I got Twitter, that was way back, mid 2006ish, I think. I can't even remember. A bit later. Anyway, that became Baas the Beer because I literally want to go onto another platform and search for boobs. That was my first search for on Twitter was boobs. So that's why else? And yeah, Baas the Beer just stuck. I was actually working on a different alter ego, Baden Badkamer. It's got a Facebook profile and everything, but yeah, that just never took off.
I'm assuming it's supposed to be like Chris Chameleon. Not Chris Chameleon, Chris Kombuis.
I just figured if there's a Chris Kombuis on Kuala Badprop, who was the other guy?
Stevenson Coleman, I'm assuming.
Probably. Well, that wasn't a time when I became aware of quite a few weird Afrikaans names and shit, and I figured Baden Badkamer is a good thing. I had my whole persona planned out. I would do shows and interviews and whatnot, seated on a toilet that had a brandy and coke dispenser built in, and it could be a braai.
Oh man, I'm kind of sad that didn't work out.
So am I. But hey,
Maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe we can get it back into rotation.
Kickstarter does exist.
but yeah, so now I do everything that I do, like publicly is Baas the Beer, but when I run my business and stuff, it's Chris the Beer. So I kind of try and keep those two separate.
And I mean, you are on your Facebook page listed as a public figure. And I mean, that is actually true in a sense,
I literally was forced to get a public Facebook page because you only have 5,000 friend space limits on Facebook. And I kind of reached that into 2010.
I didn't know that.
So I started deleting people and I got flack for that. So I figured, you know what, let's again try and split it a bit, because I kind of got tired of everything just being public. So now I do all the public things on my page. But if you're my friend, my personal page is open, but you know what, I try and push the page a bit more.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I still don't see myself as a public figure. I just see myself as someone that knows people and loves people. So
And not a model.
I'm not a model, even though I've had photos taken of me.
Well, we do have a few international listeners, so for them, the people that aren't in South Africa that wouldn't know who you are, could you just...
Oh, most people in South Africa don't know him, so that's okay. Basically, in a nutshell, let's see. Privately, I'm business owner. We do social media marketing, basically business development and strategy and so forth. But the part that you're probably most interested in is the fact that Baas the Beard. I do radio work on the Grind Radio. Host the Friday Fun Start 1 2 3. Once we get our new studio in again, it's a bit on hold. I do MC stuff. That's a couple of festivals, events, and so forth. In-house DJ at ONAT, DJ at festivals. What else? Occasionally do YouTube videos and charity stuff. Charity stuff's quite important. But so yeah, anything that people want to connect a public figure to that was willing to just have some fun for them. That's where Baas comes in.
Awesome.
And I mean, I know you through hosting, as in like hosting quiz nights at On Class and just emceeing at places like Strab and just being at places like,
It's
Koppie and
awesome.
Strab,
I get paid to do awesome things.
Go to festivals, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, the hosting thing I think took part most and partial because I literally only heard in Standard 7, grade 9, that you're supposed to be scared of public speaking. And by then I was like, fuck it, I'm way too lazy to start to learn how to be scared of people now. So I was going to continue. So I was literally unaware that it's not a thing that people are natural with. So I've taken some time trying to better my craft. And then, you go and watch these videos that say how to be a better public speaker and shit. And it's like 95% of the time, picture the people naked and try to be confident and comfortable and articulate. And I'm like, do people really need to be taught these things?
Yeah.
Because I was never taught that. And,
That's amazing,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, that was us. That was us needing those videos at the start.
I was picturing people naked and just... yeah, definitely. It gave me other issues to deal with at the same time, but it helped a little bit.
Well, as Jimmy Carr says, that is a good idea unless you're addressing a primary school.
Yeah.
I need to say I also love comedy and I've dabbled in that too.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I wish I could go to that comedy. I remember that first comedy night that you posted, like a few years ago, and I wish I could go.
Oh, there's a few awesome ones there.
Yeah. But what got you into the industry? Like,
I actually came into the music industry the wrong way around, right? Now, that was halfway through my journey, and usually people start out in what they like, the rock, alternative scene, folk, indie, whatever, and then they realize they also like food, so they go commercial and stuff. Now, I had great connections more in the commercial industry, partially because I had a band, but we were teetered on the edge, between commercial and not. So I had a lot of friends there and started managing some artists and whatnot. And I kind of got fucking tired of the bullshit. And most of the fuckers that are famous in the Afrikaans music industry now they were mates back then, and now they're assholes. So that scene is not for me at all. But believe it or not, I think my public, let's call it entertainment journey, started in church. I studied theology, worked at a church from school time already, and I was just always involved with little dramas and the music of the play. So I went to, after a while, went to a service year team, did 3.5 years of music there, and basically, I got a shitload of entertainment tips there. And I mean, in the end, if you can sell basically church funds, you can sell anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my first gig as MC, proper gig as MC for a rock show, was in 2010 when my girlfriend's band played for the opening for Friends band and shit, and they just asked, "Hey, would you like to host this?" And I was still back at the old Things and Times.
the one down, the one down.
Yeah, so the second Things and Times, technically in Arcadia Street. Yeah.
Oh man, I remember that place.
From there, it just went on.
So you mentioned that you studied at the church. Where else did you study? Did you study anything afterwards, or was it just?
I basically studied nothing that's got anything to do with what I do at the moment.
So you're basically self-taught with that.
In a certain sense, because I'm fortunate to honestly, function very well in an area of life where you don't really need to study. Because I mean, you don't want to go to a neurosurgeon that says, you know what, I do it for the passion of it, and it's really a fun hobby for me.
No, but also I think you have a natural talent, and that is obviously a huge bonus.
Yeah. Honestly, I can say without a doubt that if I was more exposed to entertainment at an earlier stage in my life, I might have just pursued that. But coming into the scene only really after the age of 25, even more so only at 30, it's only afforded me some opportunities that I would have grasped when I was 19. But I did not grow up in a house that really went for that vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
So after the studying something completely different, what did you do? Did you just directly jump into this business, or
There was a nice crossover phase in the sense that, look, as I said, I worked at a church, studied that, went to service here, studied music and theology, and from there, directed plays, went on stage a lot, started my band life, learned it's fucking awesome to play bass, and bass is the best thing, by the way. I mean, come on, you can't deny bass. It's a lifestyle. And I think that honestly, I base 90% of my whole entire life on what I believe a bassist is. A server, someone that can shine without the spotlight being on them, but when the spotlight is there, you can grab that moment. It is usually the type of guy with the heavy shit that he has to carry, and that's for me is a metaphor in life as well, be it from clients to friends. So in that vibe, I spent 3.5 years of my life being a youth counselor in a school in Ermelo.
Oh, wow.
And there met up with some friends, started a band, got into the industry, and then we were all going to move to Pretoria and make it.
Yeah.
And then the arsehole that used to be our front man, you're a dick, Shoal, I hate you. No, I don't hate him, I don't hate people. But he is a dick. But seriously though, no, band broke up and you sort of sitting in a new city, you plan on quitting and everything and have to make do with what you've got. And then move forward.
Yeah, I know kind of about that. You know After Robot. Yeah,
Very well.
I was their bassist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm aware of the change in bassists.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, you want to ask about this?
Well, as you said before, we are interested in the emceeing parts of your life. So can you tell us a little bit about that? What is it like being an MC?
Honestly, it's really awesome if you realize it doesn't matter. The first lesson that I can give to anyone if you want to be an MC, realize that you are the least important person in that room and no one gives a single flying fuck about what you say. Most of the times, the only times when an MC really stands out at an event is if he causes cock.
True.
One of our events that we do the marketing for a while ago had some shit with an MC saying stuff on stage that people were hypersensitive to, but the guy's a comedian.
Yeah.
But some people got offended, and that's the first time. And the guy's a brilliant MC, honestly. He's one of the greatest comedians and MCs that I know. But that's the only time when people comment about it. So first and foremost, honestly, don't think that the show is about you as an MC. If you go on thinking that people are going to applaud you, occasionally you do get a, yay, that was funny or shit.
Yeah.
But it also depends on what you host. I mean, if you host a golf day or something, you have to do that's a corporate part of things. Golf days and promos and that. There people actually will have to listen to it. You need to pander to their attentions.
Yes.
Whereas at a rock show, a typical show at ONAT, if you say anything more than, ladies and gentlemen, insert band name here on stage for you, put your hands together and open your legs wide, yay!
Yeah.
That's the edge that you can go with. If I go to a festival and the MC starts, the band's on stage, they've been sound checked, they're on stage, they're waiting for the applause, go. And it starts, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the festival again, and they start reading from the little cards, the sponsors, and shit. No one cares, you're losing that.
And that whole thing about not everyone does it well, but I mean some people just don't do it well. That thing about how's everyone doing tonight? I can't hear you.
It's not like the MC actually gives a fuck about the people.
Yeah.
So, hi, how are you? At least have the decency to wait for a response,
Yeah.
It's one of my pet habits that I like to do when I'm drunk. I'll go if an MC says, how are you doing? I'm like, honestly, not too good. Please, I want to talk to you about my day. They never do.
How's everyone going? Could be better.
But I think there are certain things that MCs do that give MCs a bad name because most of the times MCs go to events and they literally only do it because they get free entry for them and a mate, they maybe get a bar tab, and in the end that is what destroys MCs for a lot of venues. I know Firkin completely ages ago disbanded the whole entire idea of MCs because what value did it add?
Yeah.
And if you as an MC can't come to an event and actually add value more than announcing the next band, which the people can see on the projection or the poster, or they came to see the band, they kind of know where it was playing, add value. So you know what? If you've got a product to punt, if it is a Clipdrift sponsored event, make sure you stand with a freaking Clippies in your hand and not wear a whatever other brandy t-shirts.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know, something random.
Yeah, basically that. Find innovative ways to punt products without making people think they are tuned in at 3 in the morning on a boring TV station watching infomercials. Except I have done that, but that was funny and that was hilarious. Not that I've actually done an infomercial, but sort of. But no, I've done that on stage. You fake that for the hilarity of it, but honestly, just make sure that when at the end of the day that someone can say that just because of your little contribution, someone bought 10 more drinks. Someone had a friend that says, you know what, come over to the party.
Yeah, exactly. If you can bring more people in just by doing that alone.
Do you want to know a secret? I'm feeling generous with a little secret here.
Oh, yay.
So you say you know me from quiz nights and so. And one of the things I implemented in quiz a while ago, mostly because of boredom with the usual structure of things, I brought in a silly little drinking game rule. And it's going to sound so pedantic when I explain it now, but it works. A couple of years ago, me and one of my mates, we were playing Kings, but we didn't have a table, so we couldn't do the thumb rule, Master Thumbs. I love drinking games. I like complicating my alcoholic processes. So Master Thumbs, you kind of need a table to put your thumb on, so we decided, it's going to become the Viking rule. So you put up, the person who draws the card can put up his hands like a Viking horn helmet, which is not, by the way, interestingly enough, what Vikings look like. But anyway... And so we use that, and then the last person to start rowing the boat, figuratively speaking, has to down his drink or have a drink. So I do that at on-class during the quiz nights. And the essence is, do it in the second half of the quiz part of the section. Someone's going to down their drink. He's going to order another. People order by the table. And that should have added easily between 2 to 5% in turnover on a quiz night.
Oh, wow.
On average, just roughly by the way of speaking. And, it does not inconvenience people. You are going to buy a drink anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't feel pressured by the MC to do anything they wouldn't want to do anyway.
Well, I mean,
You
if
just
I think if
kinda
they
enhance
really
the
didn't
pace.
want to, they wouldn't anyway.
Exactly.
But some of people like the fact that it's getting more fun now. I'm
Yeah.
going to join in this, even if I have to drink a little bit
And
more.
you always have that one person, and I've actually had a guy come up to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that, he says that he was a very recluse, shy kid. And when he saw that other people are also shy about doing the drinking challenge thing, and funny enough, I'm not saying, you need to start downing drinks to get a social life, but as life would have it, that happened for that young guy.
It worked for him.
Someone else stood up about it, and, I made some fun of them, and I think I actually said to the guy, don't worry, bro, because he struggled with his downage. I remember my first drink too, and haha, everyone laughed, and ever since then, now he's able to, have friends.
I can actually share a story similar to that. When I was still here at Quiz Night, you guys started with the drinking game of shouting the team names, and then whichever team shouts the loudest has to stand in front and down a beer. And I was part of the team called the Baas.
I remember your team.
Yeah. So whenever someone would go the Baas and fucking shout like super loud.
They won quite a few of the down opportunities.
Oh, nice.
Because they were loud.
And the downing, I won lots of the downing ones, but just because I hate beer. So it's like get this in my system as quick as possible. I do not want to taste this.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now you know his secret.
I know it.
So kids, if you're listening, some nice life
No,
lessons.
look, I'll never be the one to push irresponsible levels of alcohol
No.
consumption.
Exactly,
Been
yeah.
there, done that, and besides, it's against the law to push that from stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that, but you're actually not even legally allowed to take drink and pour it from the bottle into someone's mouth from like a DJ desk or something.
wow.
Oh, wow.
For the simple reason that can lead someone to fall under peer pressure and
Yeah.
drink even if they don't want to, and that might be a raging alcoholic, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So I have to kind of give disclaimers to say, you don't have to drink. And that's, again, something that a lot of hosts will miss in the process because, they're just all about drink. But, you have to think of what's the audience and who are you catering for.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to have every single one of them slaughtered, but then one kid goes out and dies on the road
Yeah.
Yeah.
and no one comes back to an event.
Yeah,
So there
exactly.
is a bit of social responsibility as well.
It's what's liquid courage, a bit of liquid courage, and just social lubrication. That's it. That's all you want. Not really anything else.
Sauces. Sorry, I got us a platter because you fuckers looked hungry. So we've got a pixie chilling over here in the corner.
That's
And
Mo, my flatmate.
she's really tiny, so I would like to offer you something from this platter of deliciousness.
You mean the whole platter?
Yes, you can choose anything. That is the smallest thing you could have picked. It is who the fuck gets a chicken strip?
Speaking of chicken strips, I just want to say if our international listeners or anyone in South Africa are ever at Onclas in Hatfield, just try the fucking chicken strips. You'll want to move here.
Just don't try fucking the chicken strips. They come with their own sauce already.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, are you in the mood for Jägermeister at all?
I am. I'm
Yeah.
always in the mood.
Always.
Can we get 4 Jägers, please? Thanks. Oh, and the sauce arrives at that timely moment. Pixie person, you're more than welcome to just lean over. Because you're chilling in the corner. Sorry, we derailed this entire thing for food, which is generally how my life works.
It's fine. This is how we
do that a
enjoy
lot.
doing stuff,
Usually
yeah.
I just edit it out, but we'll keep this one in. Like we've done Let's Plays where we literally have to stop the episode just to say like, oh wait, pizza's here. Oh, but I also want to ask, since we're talking about MC now,
Yeah.
what is your favorite thing about MCing?
Not the money. I would say. Okay, there's a deep answer and then there's a frivolous answer.
Give us both, please.
Deep first, frivolous second.
Okay. So basically, honestly, you do get to make a bit of an impact, and when I take a look at some of the guys that I meet through it, there's some of the stories that you hear, and even some of the tiny stories you can tell. It edifies you as a person to see what other people's reaction is, because you get to introduce them to something that I'm passionate about, new music. I mean, we're sitting here at Onclas tonight, and it's right before the open mic night. This is my passion. This is to get new music to people's ears.
Yeah.
And if you as an MC at, say, Opikopi can get one person to say, no, stick around, there's a brilliant band coming up after this, and they manage to, you know what, I'm just going to chill here because the cool MC said I'm going to chill here.
Yeah.
Instead of walking to the other stage to see the band I've seen a million times. And they get to see a new band, and they become a fan. I mean, for me, that was a band called Stoker, for instance. Gareth Wilson introduced me to Stoker, and not as MC now, but as an influencer in the industry. And I'm a huge fan. Ever since I first saw them, he convinced me to, stay relatively sober enough to get their set at Kopi, and since then it worked. So there's a deep, lovely story, but for that we need Jägermeister.
Okay, hold on.
A couple of years ago, I emceed one of the events at Volmer. Volmer. They were
Volmer rock shows.
Yeah, no, one of the events there. We'll save this to cheers to that story because it's beautiful. And one of the guys came up to me afterwards. Francis van Kook was playing. I think it was Foko playing that night, and Black and Bones and a couple of others. And the north of Pretoria, they drink break fluid instead of brandy because they've got more of that.
Yeah.
It is not a rich area, and you know what? But it's lovely people in most instances. But this young guy, he probably looked about like a really ravaged 20-year-old, 19-year-old, give or take. Afterwards, he came to me literally shaking after the Franco set was on. And I first thought, dude, do you need medics? So you want to come down, what's up? And he's like, no, it's just Francis van Kook is his ultimate hero. And it inspired him. He went to Tough Shirt and blah, blah, told me a whole soppy story. It was beautiful. Can he please meet Oom Francois? And I said to him, no, kid, sure, he's just in the dressing room backstage, blah, blah, I'll get him for you. Just don't call him Oom. But anyway, so he's cool, he's waiting. And I'll never to this day forget that moment. And just to show the impact that even an artist can have, Francois came out, I explained to him, listen, bro, there's this kid that really wants to meet you, but he is a bit socially awkward, so don't get a fright to me. He's really a big fan.
Yeah.
And Francois did something that, changed that kid's life forever. He called him over the proverbial banner, come to our side, the backstage side. He gave him a hug. The kid was hugging him, shaking. I thought the kid was pissing his pants. But, a tear came down, and he sent his mate with, please go get a Coke key and stuff. Signed his arm, and like a week or two later, we saw a picture service. The kid got that signature, that autograph tattooed on his arm.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Looked like a fucking prison tat, I won't lie. It's the north, it is not. But honestly, and that's the moment that you can feel that you literally got into someone's life and made something happen for them. You can also show people where the bathrooms are, and that's really important.
Yeah. I mean, you can change people's life in a little way,
Hey, that is important to me. I'd be one of those people that would be very grateful for showing me where the bathroom
in an
is.
alternative, I mean, you'd shit yourself in an alternative universe, literally.
I don't know what clubs you hang out.
The shit ones.
But yeah,
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I should have got it as a Quavo, but they don't serve Quavo here, and Quavo is by far the best shot in the world. Just saying, Quavo, please listen to this.
Sponsors. Hashtags.
They love me and I love them. It's
Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag could be an ad. Okay, so we've already talked about your favorite. What is your least favorite part?
Wait, did you have more favorites?
Oh.
Because I do like hearing the favorite
A lot.
moments.
But I've also got a spring roll in my mouth. I don't know, dude. So more favorite moments. Look, okay. As MC, as again value added, the story makes sense. You sometimes have to say, listen, you're not only an MC, you can be MC/stage manager, and that's a whole different responsibility that gets added onto it. But most venues can't afford to get both for a gig, so it's nice to be able to do basic stage management as an MC.
Yeah.
And honestly, and this is not a single story, but I saw this at places like Otter Lake. I think I saw it once or twice. Millipop a couple of times. Festivals like Strab and so, where you get to see the behind the scenes, even though you're not a famous artist, but you get to see some of the moments. Like, there's always a muso losing a thing, and there's other musos rocking up for them. Yesterday, we were just doing the media, for instance, at Brandyfest in Benoni yesterday, and Nadi from Cortina Whiplash. They were in Springs before that, and someone stole her bass guitar. But by the time she got to Benoni, she had a bass on stage,
Nice.
The camaraderie behind artists and the general willing openness in the alternative scene for artists to be nice people. I can honestly say that, having come from the commercial scene, 90% of the fuckers in the commercial scene that become famous become assholes, whereas at least 80% of the people in the rock scene that become famous stay genuine nice people.
Yeah.
I can without a doubt say people like Francis van Kook, fucking one of the nicest, decent people you know. Rod from the Black Cat Bones, that entire band, Jason Westhuizen, the whole lot. Even moving to the, just everyone behind the scenes being so fucking nice. And even when it comes to dude, you're just a fucking MC. This entire show could take place without you, but still they include you as one of theirs. So that is what makes me love the scene even more.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think that also follows into that whole it's become a stereotype, but a good stereotype, where if you go to places like that's mostly metal and rock and goth scenes,
Those are the nicest
those
people.
people are the nicest people you'll ever
Very
meet.
much. I had my first goth club experience in, I want to say 2000. It was pretty late for me. I've been to clubs before, but my first proper goth experience, it was at the Doors in Edenvale.
Yes.
And I got my one mate, he messaged me, he said, dude, tomorrow when you come visit me, I used to live in Umlo back then, so that was 2006, 7, around about there, 6. And he said, tonight we're going to be goths. And I'm like, okay, cool, what's a goth? He said, no, basically what you need to do is you're only allowed to wear black. We're going to put some makeup set on you, and you're not allowed to smile. I'm like, okay, I've got that down, but the smiling's going to be hilarious because I will wear a dog chain. So I rocked up at Doors that night, and I was wearing this dog collar, like a choke chain thing. And we had my mate Dieter's sister put some mascara on us, which we quarterly smeared afterwards. And we went there. And now my experience of clubbing at that time was, I'm living in Ermelo. If you walk into a place and you happen to sort of look at the boertjies drink, he'll bliksem you. So getting to the mosh pit there, I've loved my rock and roll for ages. So in the mosh pit indoors, it's fucking fun. I'm smiling, I'm correcting myself. It's lacquer, man. And there was this huge giant. And you guys have been to Doors, right?
Yes.
No, there's the pits there. So it's literally a freaking pit. So you take that huge step out. Someone bounced me out of the mosh pit into this giant. Ice.
Shit.
His entire drink spilled. It was fucking expensive there to drink. I'm not even going to lie. And I'm like, I can look up. Now, I'm not tiny. But I look up, and I continue looking up, and I look up, and I'm like, Jesus, it's been a good time on planet Earth. Thank you for my blessings. Amen. Goodbye. And here Rockstar, this guy up. Tiniest was, I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so sorry, man. Please do. I'm so sorry. It's like, it's okay, guy. I'll get you a drink. I go to the bar. Later on, Alex, that hosts the Trisham, tells me he thinks he actually knows who that might have been. And they basically, fuck, dude, it was amazing. So there I learned, the alternative scene is much friendlier.
Yeah. They look intimidating, but they most of them are sweethearts.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You want to know a bad experience?
Yes, please.
I can tell you a funny / bad experience.
Always good.
The narrow plate at Onklas.
Yes.
And it was full. It was packed. It was insane. And long story short, I was emceeing, and I couldn't even move to the front of the stage, nearby stage. So I was literally caught there behind, sort of listening, whatnot. It was so full, the security really couldn't even get to the front. So they didn't exceed venue capacity, but everyone comes to the stage.
Yeah.
And this crazy chick, she was a massive Narrow fan, obviously. but I think she might have also been a fan of MDMA and other shit. Honestly, she was bad. She jumped over the railing. Sorry. I hugged Hanu from the Narrow. You know, that happens, it's fine, okay, leave it. But then she literally, he started, off like, not kicking off, but shrugging his legs, get off.
Yeah.
And to the point that he got intrusive in the show. So he saw us, get off. And then she jumped back on and just stood, held onto his legs. And started, I don't know, whatever. So I got up and took her by the shoulders, tried to get out. She rushed back to him. So I picked her up in that moment.
Oh, wow.
And she started kicking and screaming as I picked her up. I walked off stage. And as I put her down, she rushed back, stopped her. And you'll still see the scar on my stomach if you look carefully.
Oh,
She
Ow.
bit me
What?
through my t-shirt, almost like a chunk out, but like skin breached everywhere, blood and all that shit. And that fucker bit me. We put her down on the ground, took her out. In the process, one of my favorite stage managers, Kobus van Rooyen, and she elbowed or palmed him in the face as well. It was hilarious. But you know what? That's the type of shit you also deal with. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, alcohol can influence. I'm not saying that girl was drunk, but I mean, she was probably drunk.
Oh, she was high as
Or-
fuck.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like drunk.
Yeah, but I mean, also being a host for a quiz night, you do get to you tend to get people who tend to be assholes. when
Yeah,
they
you
get
do. Look,
inebriated.
last week I had a guy standing on stage. Literally, I'm busy hosting quiz, and he starts as if I'm the DJ, which I'm not at that stage. Banging his fists on the big speaker, demanding that we play Jack Sparrow now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we're busy hosting quiz. Haha.
Yeah.
It gets annoying. So I have lapsed into less savory behavior. I'm not proud of calling people cunts from stage, but I have. But you do it in a
happens.
funny way, so that in the end the crowd is on your side. So-
But I mean, it comes with the territory. That thing, you're hosting something, you're emceeing, and then people. It's the same as with comedy. Like, if there's a heckler, you need to learn how to
Yeah.
deal with them.
You have to, and I mean, people come and they pay good money to go out. It's not like I can go out to a quiz night now and still, like 5 years ago, afford to blast $500 down the drain for fuck all.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the prizes are serious. Even like you go to a quiz night, just to use on-class quiz night as an example that I know very well. I mean, we used to have Obikopi season, and that prize was worth well over 20,000 rand.
yeah.
People
Yes, it
played
was.
for. So I'm not going to be nice to one arsehole ruining a night or cheating or so just because it's his good night out.
Yeah.
I have to think of the 19, 20 other teams that are playing.
Yeah.
And even most of the
Exactly.
times the person in his team, we here for Quiz Buddy, Chilio Kwaba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find funny ways to deal with it, but as long as you get the crowd on your side,
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense.
Next question.
Okay. So, thank you for telling us about your work and your job and everything you've done so far. We would actually like to know a little bit about any projects you're working on at the moment that you have for the future. Any personal stuff? Any maybe public stuff that I don't know.
Well, basically, there's something that I'm very proud of that we're busy doing at the moment. I've been hosting the Odd Class Open Mic Nights now for just over 2 years.
Yes.
Because, long story, not even time for that, but how it started was literally a job of passion between Rudy and myself, the owner of On Class. And, well, we started it and, we got things going, and we saw musicians are busy developing, and even the audience busy developing as more appreciative for good music. So I was thinking, what's the next thing that we can do? What's the next step? So recently we got a vocal coach involved that, is open for sessions, and a guitar teacher. So we hook the guys through open mic nights up, and one of my ideals for that is to actually have funding available sometime, and one day when I've got time I'm going to take a look at that, getting some sort of funding to sponsor at least, like, take this muso that's got great guitar skills but struggling vocally,
Yes.
sponsor him for 3 months to go and have it, because at this stage they still have to pay for it themselves. It's not very expensive. It's like going to cost them $400 per month or whatever, can't remember. But still, it's expensive for musicians. So one day I hope to get something. It's not a bursary thing, it's not a charity thing, it's literally, hey dude, you're good but you don't have money, let's help you.
Yes.
That's
And
awesome.
it progressed now to the point where the musicians that have developed, that they've been spotted by agencies, spotted by labels, and I'm a bit scared of that, because a lot of the youngsters are going to get schneid in the ass by that, and not even in the fun way. So I went on a path a couple of months ago to start sourcing and discovering proper agents. And I'm proud to say that, I find 2, possibly a third one that's going to start working. I'm not making I'm literally not making a cent out of this, but to me it's a future investment.
Yes.
So you take the artists, hook them up with proper agents. In fact, on the 29th of September, We're going to have a bit of a demo night with some of the artists so that the agents can come see them.
Nice.
And
awesome.
you know, but these are of course the guys, not the struggling open mic musicians. These are the guys that are already making music, getting paying gigs. But someone to help them get paying gigs without taking. If I have to murder someone, it will probably be one of those agents that charge 40%, 30% for a gig taking. And
Okay, we're gonna scratch that out just for reasons.
no, I want that on the record. I will gladly sit in jail for murdering an agent or a taxi driver, one of the two, because that is life. No, I'm kidding. I will not kill someone, but I will make their life hell. So don't fuck with my artist, basically.
No, but just talking about open mic night, like speaking as a person who's been a struggling musician for years, like this kind of opportunity is great for, especially for people who are in Pretoria. You know, because Pretoria it feels like the muso scene, the acoustic scene, the rock scene has been kind of dwindling in the past few years just because of venues that aren't supporting it. And I'm so happy seeing that places like Onclass, they've made it a scene for musos to be here, not just acoustic musos. Because I remember when I was still in a band, Onclass didn't have that license for it. You know,
Still don't. I did not say that.
Yeah.
But look, and the nice thing is that Rudy, the owner of Onclass, and this is not about Onclass, but I fucking love this venue so much because, I mean, Rudy himself is a musician.
Yes.
He's a bassist for the Barbosa Experience. Drummer, sorry.
Yes.
Drummer for the Barbosa Experience. And as that, he also appreciates good musicians and people that work hard for that. So he's got no qualm, for instance, me, the guys coming for Onclass open mic, to help them and say, you know what, there's other open mics. I'm, for instance, starting a new open mic now in the east of Pretoria. On the 18th of September, we're hitting the Craft Exchange Craft Bar there next to Thirst. Starting Monday night open mic nights. Same setup as here. But we still say, you know what, fuck it, there's Hooters has got occasional open mic nights. Hard rock, kinda, or something, but fuck them. Shivas wanted to, but that's a horrible venue, so that will never have worked. Oh no, they rape bands and they destroy
no.
musicians.
Yes,
I know,
it's
we
true.
know.
I'm not
We
even
know.
going to
So
argue.
you know what? I'm for anyone that's going to build the industry, but as you just heard, I'm actually against anyone that will harm it.
Yes.
So and that's why I love it so much that we can work with these musicians and say, in the end, look, no guys, we just had Friends with Leaves a couple of months ago launch their album, and they met kind of because of open mic night. And when we started open mic, that was one of my goals, to have new bands emerge. Because when we started that in, May 2015, there were no open mics in Pretoria, at least that I knew of, and I sort of know about most things cool happening.
No, it's true.
So as far as I know, there were no active open mic nights in Pretoria happening. And when we started that, a couple of other guys started trying to coin.
Exactly.
But mark my words, every single open mic that tried to charge people entry or charge people to pay or try to make money out of an artist just by them being there, those will go down. And I hope they do. But, have the bar make money off the beer sales and stuff with people there. But the moment you make money out of a musician, the musician has to get money.
Exactly.
Easy as that.
No, that's 100% true. It's the same as, oh, sure, we'll pay you in exposure. Cool. Is that going to pay my rent then,
Not directly, no.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things for this open mic, look, I hate battle bands, which it's never that. But we do choose acts occasionally from open mic. It's kind of like an audition to open for bigger artists.
Yes.
But I mean, we've had cases now where two of the bands actually, one opened for Paro and the other for Coke. They literally had their first show together at open mic, and 2 weeks later they opened with 400 people in front of them.
And that's awesome.
That is exposure that's
the
worth
right
getting.
kind of exposure.
But don't tell me, oh, listen, my band has got tonight. Who's your band? Kwesi and Kokorota. Cool. We really open for us. It's for exposure. Odds are that the opening act will get more big people there than the feature act. So screw that.
Yeah, that's the kind of exposure I'm talking about. That's the bad exposure. All right, but I think that's about it for the
That's
interview.
it. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to add, maybe?
Thank you guys. It is honestly a fun podcast, and I haven't done one in ages. So no, keep it up and follow me, Baas the Beer. I tweet
Do
nice
it.
pictures.
No, we'll put your social media stuff up.
Yay!
All right.
And honestly, thank you guys. It's an honor.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Can we do a high five or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo!
All right.
You get one too, Pixie.
And that's it. That was our interview with Baas de Beer. I really enjoyed it. Even though it was it was noisy, but it was because we were on location at Onclass.
It was a lot of fun. That was the first live on location not live, but on location interview we've ever done, and it was great.
Yeah, the closest thing to that was the Cards Against Humanity episode, but that was at someone's house.
Yeah.
That wasn't like we're going to a public place to talk to someone.
No, this was a lot of fun. People kept giving us like confused stares.
Yeah.
Not realizing what we were doing.
Yeah,
No.
people thought we were a big deal. Something.
No, they knew we were nobodies. They knew Baas was there, so...
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, let us come worship. Oh, no, wait, he's busy. Never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're actually going to reserve the rest of what happened that night for something a bit later, as I hinted at in the beginning. But yeah.
But for anyone listening right now, guys, live shows, a lot of fun. Go.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Just live shows in general. If there's a band or something playing close by you and you've never fucking heard of them, fucking go.
You may be pleasantly surprised, like we were.
Yeah. But this is the end of this episode, and yes, as I hinted, there will be more content coming soon in the next 2 weeks. By the way, I haven't mentioned this in a podcast yet, but the Swamp Donkey Radio is moving to once every 2 weeks now. Basically, we just want more time if we ever find ourselves with something that's a bit daunting to review in 1 week.
Yeah, we've been struggling with coordinating our schedules at the moment, so...
2 weeks is fair for us.
Yeah, it's a little bit kinder.
Yeah. Also, we are still doing the hat. Pirates of the Caribbean is still coming out. So if you guys have any suggestions for us to put in the hat, please still do so. That has not gone away.
Or if you have someone in mind that you would like us to interview,
Yes.
maybe a friend that you know that's super into something or is good at something, any kind of media or hobby,
Yeah, or
we'd
whatever.
still love to talk to you.
Yeah. There's an artist that we're actually going to talk to soon. Yes. Not going to give anything away.
Bum bum bum. Excitement.
All right. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you guys next time.
Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. Bye. Bark, bark, bark.